All right, guys, welcome to another conversation at the beautiful Westin at the Thrive Conference 2022, Blk Men in Tech. I am here with a man that does not need any introduction, to be very honest with you.
You sure?
I'm positive. Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you sitting down with me, Mr. Ninth Wonder.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
So we're not gonna take too much of your time, but being in the Thrive Conference right now in Blk Men in Tech, we wanted to get your thoughts on how important is it for the Black community to pretty much fellowship in a community like this when it comes to tech and to learn about it.
I think, when it comes to people of color, especially Black people, fellowship has always been our way of life anyway. When it comes to whether it be church, whether it be the community center, whether it be in my world as far as hip hop, the cypher on the corner, whatever it is, we've always thrived when we fellowship. And that's also the best way we've passed messages as well to each other from generation to generation to generation. I can't count how many family reunions I've been to where you get all the information you need in one family reunion. You know what I mean? So if you look at this particular conference as a family reunion of sorts, you can get kind of the same type of atmosphere or feel of community, of life lessons, because it's not only to learn the tech side, it's also to learn the life in tech and what you do with it. So this has always been innately a part of us since we got here, you know what I mean?
So when you say life in tech, if you can actually elaborate on that, that would definitely be great.
I mean, there's a tech side of tech, and then there's life dealing with the pitfalls, failures, a lot of emotions. If you have a high emotion or a low emotion with success, I mean, that's just a part of it. It's not only just because of the technology or the money you make from it, it's the life you live in it. And I know some Black people, a lot of Black people that have been around since we've called Macintosh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been around that long.
Yeah.
And at the beginnings of IBM and all these particular companies, can probably tell a young man or woman how to deal and how you guard your intellectual property or you guard the ideas that you have, because it can be easily taken away from us. So, and the emotions that come when that happens.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's what I mean about life in tech.
Gotcha. So let's talk about the Black community when it comes to music and also producing as well too. What is your insights, or what is your advice and your wisdom as far as maybe an upcoming producer that wants to get into tech to maybe even protect his intellectual property as well too? If you can kind of walk me through that.
There's no way now that you can get into music without understanding technology at all.
Yeah.
This is probably more so than ever. I haven't met a producer now in the last 20 years or 25 years, or 20 years at least, that doesn't produce on a computer. The whole studio is ran by a computer now, as opposed to everything was analog, big machines. Now, even dealing with all the way from where the music is made, to how the music is uploaded, where the music is streamed, all that's technology. Yeah. So you really need to be well versed in these things, one or three, if not all three, to be successful in it. And we need to be the forefront or the front runners in that before it gets taken away from us, turned into something else. And a lot of us are creators of a lot of things that never got the credit for it. So
definitely. Tech is actually, especially in the Black community, I feel like it's a level of leveling the playing field as far as when it comes to generational wealth and pretty much creating a staple pretty much for your family.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God, legacy is important, man. Yeah. It is very important to make sure we keep it as in-house as much as we possibly can. And I think we are such of a loving people. We're so giving.
Yeah, giving a little bit too much where we don't even take care of our own damn self.
Exactly.
Yeah,
definitely. This is the way we are as people, man. You know what I mean? This is in our blood, but we really need to start to being more guarded when it comes to our paperwork, our corporations, our finances, when it comes to that. Like I said, the intellectual property, that's one of the things I've learned, especially me being in academia. One of the things I've learned so much is intellectual property. It's not a way that you can really copyright that. So it's good to, if you have a great idea, make sure you understand who to share it with and who not to share it with.
Yeah.
And because everybody doesn't have your best interest at heart, but I think that's important.
So to wrap it up, if you actually have a moment, maybe somebody in your family, somebody in your close friends that does not necessarily know too much about tech, what advice or like what would you actually tell them? Like what would be like your elevator pitch to pretty much get them involved?
To get into tech?
Yes.
I don't think people really understand the foundations of technology, right? And sometimes when we say tech, the first thing comes to mind is computers, circuitry, coding, or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you give it to them like, okay, we're sitting in chairs, right? At some point in time, that was technology. You know what I mean? Like everybody was sitting on the floor at one point. And somebody came along and said, hey, here's a chair. And maybe some people barked against it, and some people said, I want to still sit on the floor. But that's kind of the basis to get people involved. You have to, I'm a big proponent of meeting people where they are to take them where you want to go. So it depends on who I'm talking to. I would see the field that they're in, what they love, what's their passion, and try to find anything in their world that's actually technology to pull them in. So that's how I would do it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nice, man. I appreciate your time.
My man, thank you.
It's really an honor, honestly, for you to be here because, you're definitely, a legend to say the least.
Thank you.
And for people to definitely look at you here and see at you at the Thrive Conference, it's really a blessing. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. All right. Peace. Yes,